The coconut crab. These non-existent beings roam islands of the Pacific and Indian Ocean. As the largest land-living arthropod, it consumes fruits, nuts, seeds, other coconut crabs, sometimes cats and birds in an unrelenting hunger that will destroy all. You might be wondering, have you lost your mind? The answer is yes, but the answer is also no because I am not real. Anyways, I have had a long history with the species known as the coconut crab, and in that I mean a few years ago I saw this picture of a coconut crab on this trash can, and I was like, hehe, funny, coconut crab. But recently, I've obtained video evidence on YouTube of a bird being eaten alive by one of these coconut crabs on YouTube. Watch and learn. This has given me cause to wonder about the life of the coconut crabs, and this is what I will be covering in this video. Where do they live, and all the sort of operations that you would expect from these sneaky devils. Where do they sleep? Do people keep them as pets? What about beans? Exactly, beans. That makes sense. This and much more will be unveiled in this thrilling episode of in-depth analysis. Subscribed and stay tuned. So, the first question I need answered about these peculiar beings is I asked Google, where do coconut crabs sleep? Let's wait and watch for a response. No sign of movement. Let's try the more general question. Where do crabs sleep? Let's wait and watch for a response. Once again, there seems to be no sign of movement, and so I can only safely assume that the answer is that coconut crabs do not in fact sleep. Let's move on to another question. How was coconut crabs? There are many answers to the question, how was coconut crabs, such as, it doesn't exist. Alright, I will quit this tomfoolery at this instance and adopt a more formal and serious matter on the topic of coconut crabs. Based on Wikipedia, the coconut crab is the largest land-living arthropod in the world, and is probably the upper size limit for terrestrial animals with exoskeletons at current conditions during the Holocene, with the weight up to 9 pounds. For reference, 9 pounds is equal to a large bag of potatoes, a 6-foot aluminum stepladder, and an adult Maltese dog. So, according to this factual source, if all three of these weigh 9 pounds, then all of them combined weigh 9 pounds. So a coconut crab equals the weight of all these combined. That's very heavy. But there are still many more mysteries above the coconut crab. Like, for instance, according to Wikipedia, the total lifespan of a coconut crab may be over 60 years, possibly amounting to 120 years, longer than human life. This poses a health question, as how are they not abundant everywhere in the world by now if they reach maturity to mate at 5 years old? What did they do during all these long years? How are they able to live so long? I think that the coconut crab may possess a certain ability to transcend through planes of existence in order to sustain immortality. I mean, it makes sense because the coconut crab is the only species left of its extinct family members on the tree of evolution. The coconut crabs seem to have deliberately survived extinction and obtained the ability to cheat death for a considerable amount of time on this earth by existing in multiple realms at the same time. To support this theory, according to what the ancient Egyptians said, the Ankh sign stood for eternal life or immortality. So watch what happens when you pair the symbol of immortality with the coconut crab. This supports the idea that the coconut crab is a celestial being in nature. So let's just look for more clues. The body of the coconut crab is unique in itself because its exoskeleton appears different than any other animal living on the planet. It's a very, very unique. So is this just an extraordinary feat of evolution, or did the coconut crab descend from the heavens centuries ago? We may never know the true answer, but one thing is certain, and that is coconut crabs equals funny, hee hee.